What a wonderful day to want to review a Kansai Pokemon CYPHER. Wouldn't that be amazing? What if I just spin this wheel here and see what I get? Okay then. So, welcome to my first review on Kansai Pseudo Legendary Ciphers, and this is going to be a bit different from my normal reviews. If you've seen them, I haven't done one of them in a long time, but I figure this is probably a better format to cover the long form ones. Kind of what I should have done with Tiger West Korea. But aside from that, basically at the top you'll see that there's a positive counter and a negative counter. Every time I see that in something I like, I'll probably just make a good comment on it and add one to the total. And if I like them, and if I don't like something, today I'd want to total as well, also with a comment. I won't just do it unprompted, of course, but and at the end of each verse, what I'm going to do is I'll rank them out of 10, and the amount of points I gave them, I'll rank. So for example, if I gave something a 7 out of 10, then I'd add 7 to the positive 1 and 3 to the negative 1, because like that's 3 points that they just missed out on. But aside from that, I hope you enjoy the video. Como just Scaly, and Dragapult isn't even Dragapult, it's Shakalak. Whoa, harsh much? It's a bit random to start with a reference, but I think it's alright.
I don't give a fuck about him, I'm 7'3" and you have my height.
He would not fucking say that.
16 hours, a circle over the globe, fly as hell.
Okay, well, at least they made a good reference to Pokédex there.
I might as well set a fire right to your home. You see my pupils enlarging, I'm scorching and fire starting.
Well, you already said that.
My skin is orange, no doubt I go harder than Charizard.
I normally don't like when they make unprompted references to a Pokemon, but I'll let it slide this time just because of how similarly they're compared in the black and white anime.
Shots, but it don't work, my whole skin is basically armor.
Multi-scale reference.
Rushing competition and conferences, I don't need no palmer.
The audio says I don't need no Palmer, but it shows him with Lance.
The heater, you'll be palming, I ain't karma, bring your karma. Finna keep evolving stronger, save your life, that's if I want it. I was burst up in the water, now I'm mastered of the elements. There ain't no telling when I hit him with Dragonite Tail again.
Albeit the writing is a bit iffy, I really like the flow during that part. So I'll give 2 positives and 2 negatives.
That's a Draco even for a hit with Draco Meteor.
I'm sorry, but that's a dumb rhyme scheme.
Like a red beam, the hyper beam gon' set an even score. Vaporize them, all the remains buried beneath the forest. Steel wing gon' spill brain, slump on me leaning forward.
I'll be honest, throughout this entire verse I would just like to myself, he would not fucking say that over and over again. But I do admit that the flow is pretty good in some parts, but it's more due to the instrumental and not the rapper himself. So I guess 5 out of 10.
Talk about the goat, watch the money move.
You're goddamn right.
Look up on my chain, yeah, I came from the green and blue.
Good bar, but you did show Mega Tyranitar there, which is not green and blue.
Trying to snatch these 2 4s, 8 up on your body, dude. If they talking T-Tar, and you know they talking about the meta too.
You're goddamn right.
Watch you be aiming up that metal too, bum ass. When that shit at me, I got a beam, I'll leave your skull back.
That's not how lasers work.
Steady with a team, if I switch, then you won't last.
Huge missed opportunity to make a reference to Pursuit here.
Johnny Blastoise, come and play, see the 9 flag.
I'm sorry, what?
Since they put me on the range, I ain't been the same. Jackpot, if they lack rocks, I be moving strange. Step into the gang, sand stream coming at your brain. Stake out, finna spin the block, that's my mega waves.
Okay, I love the rhyme scheme there. I'm gonna give 5 extra points positive for that one.
Get out the mega wave, you ain't standing no chance. If you tryna watch the battle, we ain't finna throw hands.
Okay, that's a pretty cool reference, but at the same time, like, you could have made a reference how they can punch Mountain.
Film red, I'm known for the shank like a road man. Cause if they X Drake, then they're so damn.
What? But despite Pollard's successes of writing being a bit iffy at times, I think it's a really good and catchy verse. So, maybe like a 6 out of 10? No, 7.
Only in leader, I'll take my mind into war.
I'm not gonna go on a rant here, but I love Conquest's voice.
The Alpha Omega be in my maximum form.
Clever.
Massive fangs of I'm torn with adamantium claws. I'll Salamanca him, he's leaving not the man that he was.
I had no idea what Connor was referencing at first, but I looked it up and apparently he's referencing Breaking Bad of all things. So, I guess I'll give one for positive and one for negative.
People go talking, they say them pseudos cool. If shots fired, then I'm for each line like Sudoku.
This bar is pretty good on its own, but in the context of Salamence, it doesn't really make all too much sense. Like, you could just put this in any other verse and it'll work just as well.
You can't put two and two together, no need for a number of bombs. Fight them one-on-one and keep them tucked under the gums.
What are you trying to say?
Gaze on, long ways from the baby boy and bacons. Raised on games, done first love and how I made bonds.
Okay, I love the rhyme scheme there.
I'm a day job, started ASOP.
Oh, you sure are talking like him.
Change seas to rain swap, now I'm forever grind like Drake was.
This is a great line on its own, but I'm going to give it a negative point as well because the second time I covered it, they thought I was talking about the pedophile.
Converted adolescent, dreamt of flying high. Another shell's gonna hell on, I'm vying to inspire.
Honestly, I do feel kind of inspired by this verse, so good job, Salamence.
Stuck in these cells, feeling like nothing would help. But if life doesn't give you wings, grow them fuckers yourself.
Oh my god, that is an incredible line. Well, if you can't tell that we've jumped from them being around the same to nearly double the positive count compared to negative count, I really like this verse. I love Conquest's twist on it. I love that he tried to make this into like a sort of message. But I do think that the writing can be a bit random at times, but at the same time, everyone else's is. So I'm giving it a 9 out of 10.
In this metaverse, I'ma get up to set it first. A flash skin is easy to show you how the Beretta works. You know that of a robot who always stay in the red alert. A laser focus signal beam in the red eye with metal burst.
Good rhyme scheme, but if someone told me that they were running laser focus signal beam metal burst metal gross, then I think I would genuinely tell them to stop playing Pokemon.
Scared, probably don't think that I just appeared. Cocky beta booze and never I 3 cause that's a clear body.
Clever.
Fear shiny, this about to be a huge loss. You better have insurance when you fucking with the Blue Cross.
Isn't the Blue Cross like a health center for pets? Why that?
Get in the bullet punch, leaving you bitches nosing. I can easy go and bet them, but see me and what I'm grossing.
Okay, that's pretty good.
Leaving me a open, that's a no-no. I ain't leave a shell up in your ass like a slow bro.
And the least funny joke in a rap cipher award goes to...
Sidekick, level in the field, see a squad blade. Giving new meaning to the phrase, get your palm red.
I didn't get this line at first, but it's actually a pretty clever way to combine the two types together.
Then I go Mega Man and raise up with these arms spreading.
You mean Mega Evolving?
Bust a hyper beam, supercharged, not a calm dash.
I say Dicker's verse here is a lot like Tyranitar's, where they're on the right lines, they're just not saying the right things sometimes. So, I guess I'll give it like a 6 out of 10.
I'm sad, it is gross to leave me out the meta. These other dudes were just substitutes for me until I set up the sword stance. Your chance of leaving breathing is bad. When the Dragon Claw sight swipes a literal stabbing.
Now that is one hell of an opening.
Yeah, I step in the dirt breaks, the earthquakes when I move fast as a blackbird plane.
It's actually faster, but still a cool line.
Sand streams, I can surf waves in ways that got me banned from OU.
This line pisses me off more than it should, because no one is running Surf Garchomp.
Cause when I bail by the sand, you may all land in the tomb. And I outrage in the booth, is I'm out playing these fools. You want a duel, then the dual chop will break you in two.
Okay, that is really clever wordplay.
You got no place in the crew, Cynthia Ace coming through. I was the champion and knew before the mega was new.
I'm sorry, but Cam is talking so much like he has no idea what he's talking about.
And I'm the maker of this movie, you choose me, they'll hear the Jaws theme. The way that this game shark sweeps, they think the Monchies.
Damn.
Let me get to any generation that want me. I make a mockery out of your team with the mock speed.
I really like this verse, and I was practically obsessed with it when I first heard it. But the problem is now is that I can see that Cam's pretty much just said a load of things in a different format about the same quality as the Garchomp. Like, at least you could go a bit more into detail about competitive, maybe. But aside from that, really good verse, and 8 out of 10.
Who gon' leave a mountain dry? This guy. Stay high, but you know I'm not the type to fly.
Just to let you know, I'm going to be pronouncing High Diagon with a German accent the entire time, and none of you can stop me. But yeah, this line's also pretty cool.
Rather tear out your heart and leave you in the dark. Bad things come in threes and you don't want to hear these fists talk.
So are they heads or fists? On the topic of that, how's High Diagon use a punching move?
No repentance for this devilish degenerate who's entering the meta game with gems on his neck and wrist.
Oh, that's a good rhyme scheme.
Call me world champion. Send it to the graveyard better than any other red eyes black dragon can.
What? Zekrom? But aside from that, surely the next part won't be a fast-paced part, right?
Tyranny, I call it sympathy, you call it villainy, I call it dignity. When I be ripping the villages, opening up heaven's gates with infinity, I bring the agony to get us as enemies like I was in the garden of Gethsemane. Know that when you say a prayer to the Trinity, it's from epiphany that you will think of me.
Okay, props to Matt for how creative this is. Really cool, love the biblical references, even though I don't think any hydras are in the Bible. But aside from that, you get 11 extra positive points because I don't want it to be 109.
Most brutal of the pseudos.
Jeez, that's brave.
I'll be changing the titles to black and blue, y'all.
It annoys me that I don't know if he's talking about black and white or red and blue, because there are already Pokemon games called what he's mentioning. I mean, I get the reference, but I'm sorry, a small nitpick. I'll give 1 point to each.
Other rappers try to throw chop at my neck, but this Hydra keeps getting ahead and ahead and ahead.
I hate to admit that it took me embarrassingly long to get this line, so I'm gonna give it a few extra positive points for that. But aside from that, I think Matt Boyer did a really good job at writing this, and while the first part was suddenly unexpected, it was a good twist on the instrumental, and I do like it. So I'm also gonna give this first an 8 out of 10. Good job.
Movement is a city car drip when I walk.
I apologize in advance for the rant I'm about to go on about this verse.
They throw me right into the battle just to graph him in chalk.
What does that have to do with anything?
Know the victory's assured whenever I show up. Don't believe me, let's see you face this hydro pump.
I mean, it's not really much of a flex if you're just saying a move that every single other water type Pokemon can learn. Like, what really makes you a pseudo?
What they lack is type advantages.
Geez, hypocritical much?
I'm the type to block with iron defense and expanded with. Surf for something more direct like Aqua Jet to handle shit.
You can't even learn 2 of those 3 moves you just mentioned.
Dragon Pulse be within me, maybe not a legendary, but I know I'll topple any.
Sure, Xerneas? Yeah, go ahead, try that.
Got a lot of moves in mind, if I lock on, I hit them.
Moves that you don't know that you can learn, apparently.
Just like boots with the connected ways I'll never heal from. Trainer battles in with profit that's direct to pockets.
Did you do any research before writing this verse?
Throw a Draco Meteor until they out of options. No matter what, you'll have to hit the center. A Zapdos to turn the Blaziken into chicken dinner.
Okay, he just saying shit at this point and hoping that we'll understand. And the Genius Wiki even agrees with me there.
A Drip King, nothing less than all the pseudos know it.
Okay, that's admittedly a good line.
I have him drowning muddy waters like a public toilet.
You? If you haven't noticed at this point, I really do not like this verse. Because it genuinely just feels like they took someone who knew nothing about Gudra and just decided, hey, do you want to do a verse? And they didn't even look up anything on it. I mean, I know that sounds a bit harsh. I don't know who NPLVK Diamonds is or any of their work. I'm sure they're a great guy, but I just think that this could have been written a lot better if he actually did more research on it. So I'm going to have to give it like a 1 out of 10.
You look weak through this body armor I see through.
I haven't commented on the casting this entire time just because, like, I think they're all pretty solid. And also they're Pokemon, so they could pretty much be anything. But I love the vibe they're going for with Komuro here.
You need cheap moves to compete with these Z moves.
Well, I had 4 Clangorous Soul Places on 1 Komuro. Let's see how that does.
Clangorous Soul Blaze, unique sync with a sweet boost. Drain punch and belly drum beat until I defeat you.
Wait, is the person who wrote this a competitive Pokemon player? Okay, I looked up his channel and I don't think he is. I'm pretty sure he just got those sets from Smogon.
Seek strong opponents, the weak are not in my cannon. Came from the vast canyon, land cracks when I'm dancing. Call me Como-O, golden glow, top of the totem pole. Overcoat, weather the rain and attached from so-and-so.
Man, he is killing it with the rhyme schemes. I'm just giving 20 extra points for that alone.
For strong opponents, I don't click with the frail.
You already said that.
Glitter and scales, ring shimmer to the tip of the tail. Weight and scale of these attacks, the shit that's tipping the scale. Ironhead is mental, was meant for delivering hell.
Okay, I know I keep pausing to ramble about the rhyme schemes, but come on, they're just so good here. He's really exceptional at this.
Your sounds don't faze me, your bullets just crazy.
Wow, he actually referenced all 3 of their abilities.
You say I'm trash and vain, you don't train, you just lazy. The move, pull base, the blaze been crazy. Nerfing my HP, I guess the game didn't change me.
Cool reference to the Z move at the end. But aside from that, I think this is a really well written verse and I love the rhyme schemes. It just sounds so satisfying. and I genuinely can't stop listening to this. I definitely have to check out 954 Mary's work more at one point, because he's genuinely just so good with writing. So overall, I'd say like a 10 out of 10. That might sound a bit absurd, but trust me.
Been an infiltrator, run up on you in your own home. Want smoke, I'm the type to pull the Draco out, then go ghost.
Drag balls into do that in competitive Pokemon too.
Bozos ain't nothing to me. You never beat me, even if I devolve 2 times. Back to Dreepy.
He's really pulling a good Goodra with that one. But this could have been a good reference to them having Dreepies as well. So I have to give 2 negative points to this one, I'm sorry.
You is a GG, the situation ugly. Me and my ops do a U-turn for thinking they can bug me.
Does that follow into the previous line, or are you just saying it because it sounds cool?
That blew up on my body, so they know I'm about my money.
Are they talking about a fiver?
And I keep a solar beam for anybody trying to sun me.
That's a weird line to represent Dragport right after the beat drop.
They finna catch me lacking, but they never had the balls to do it. I check their bag, trust me, they ain't got the balls to do it.
Okay, that's really clever.
Pow, 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 pow. Running through your town, coming for your crown.
This line was probably intended to sound a lot cooler than it actually is, but it just comes off as lazily written rather than a cool combo. So, unfortunately, I have to give a few negative points to this one.
Down the maxim, but I got massive off the bands I gained.
Okay, that's a pretty cool line. Dynamics bands and all that.
Champion status, they getting mad, we in the Hall of Fame. I'll really pull up and tell your journey to your darkest day.
Pow. That line's memorable to me because I had so much fun covering that last part when I eventually got to it. So I'm giving it 10 extra points just for that. I think this verse is all around very mediocre, especially with some parts in the writing that just don't feel like, especially the bow 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 part. That part just goes on for so long to be an actually good line. So overall, I'd say I'd give it around a 6 out of 10 just because that ending is really good. And with that, this is our final total for the Camcity's Pokemon Pseudo Legendary CYPHER. And overall, this means that the positive rating is 63%. Honestly, this is one of Cam's better ciphers overall, but I think that just the writing is a bit iffy in places and often just has unnecessary references, and sometimes can just be the least funny thing ever. But I think everyone did a really good job at this. And by the way, here are the final scores to leave off with.